Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you'd like to see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019. We're in the Pro Cyclist mode, and this is our Classics Rider, episode number 5. Still just getting started in this series, and this Classics Rider is still far from being what they're going to need to be to start being competitive. We're still very much in a domestique role for the most part, but this is the kind of, speaking of, this is the kind of layout where we could excel. Possibly. We are very good on hills, and you can see that this is technically a hills profile, but it's just this punchy little climb right here at the end that gives us a possible advantage. Hit the base of that, front of the pack, hit it hard, because on mountains I'm only a 62, but on hills a 75. Now, the difference between those is complex and yet simple. It has nothing to do with the elevation. The degree of elevation change. It has everything to do with the speed that you're going when you do have an uphill situation. Now, uphill situation, flat is 3 degrees and below. 3 to 5 is a combination of flat and either that mountains or hills. And 5 and above is entirely that climbing rating. And then the difference between mountain and hill, it's all about speed. So 85 and below is all mountains, 85 to 95 is a combination of the two, and 95 plus is your hills rating. So we're going to need to attack at about 95 plus. I'm the leader. They want me to win the race. Everybody else is a teammate for me. What I want is a small group at that end to minimize the effect of everyone else, so probably that climb before with protection from someone to help me get over. We'll try to minimize the group. The penultimate small punchy one there, again, I'll try to use my team to push quickly through that, and then on that final one I'll attack myself. Now, how much is left at the end of that? Well, hard to say. Overall, we're talking about 198 kilometers. And let's see. I'm guessing, based on the profile, that this is give or take about 50K that I'm showing on the screen right now. So we're talking, let's see, 25, 12... I'd say it starts inside the last 5 or 6 kilometers, that final climb. And then that and the descent cover about 4 of those final 6K. So it's about a 2K run into the end. That's not easy. Downhill, it's really hard for anyone to make up any ground. Speaking of, I'm pretty decent on downhill, and I'm good form today. Fitness is high. We're riding a 79 on the hills today. The resistance is high. The acceleration is high. The downhill is looking good. So I think we're in pretty good shape for our prospects here for this one. But we'll see. I don't know until we try. The competition level can't be too high either, because I'm on that list of favorites right up there near the top, which means we're definitely not going up against the big riders this time out. So finally, the first attempt at forming a break begins. We're going to go quickly. You hadn't noticed already, at least that's the plan for a while, because, well, we're just sitting tight. Essentially all the way until we hit this climb. That's where I'm going to try to really start shaking things up. It'll be hard to leave too many riders behind by that point, but enough pace, and we could do so. Now, one of the new Pro Cycling Manager features as of 2018 was this new option, and let's see if I can pull it up without pausing. Pause the game. Okay. It's not here. Well, anyway, one of the new options that showed up in 2018 is the ability to go back to speed 1 when something happens. So there's some sort of action, somebody attacks, somebody falls, that kind of thing. And then it slows the game back down, that way you don't miss it. Because in the past, you're speeding through at times 8 speed, and all of a sudden there's a late break in the field that you didn't know was coming, and you're done. You're a minute and a half behind it before you even see it. This one, the moment the attack begins, all of a sudden, boom, game slows down. You're like, oh, what's up? So, great feature. Very useful feature. They worked on it a little bit this season. It's a little bit improved from last season, so ultimately no complaints. But if any of the developers ever see this video, ever hear this commentary, if it somehow ever gets back to them, what I would like to see, that next step in improving it and making it incredibly useful, is the ability to set another checkbox with it and some sort of slider that changes the, let's say, percentage into the race, or maybe just a set distance, like say the first 30 kilometers of the stage. And if you check this box, the first 30 kilometers of the stage, it's not going to slow down to speed 1 every time there's an attack or a fall. And then that way it's set for the actual parts of the stage where you care that it's slowed down. Now, if you're trying to get into a breakaway, you're not going to be going at times 8 speed. You are going to be on the front of the field, whether it's career mode or pro cyclist mode. You're going to be on the front of the field, and you're going to try to be working. You're going to be trying to find the right moment to get off the front and attack. So you're going to be focused in on that already. So you're already hyper aware as to what's going on, and you're not at times 8 speed. You go times 8 speed or times 4 speed or times 2 speed. You do that when you're set, when you're in the position you want to be. You're at the front of the field, you're in the middle of the field, you are pulling turns, or you're protecting a rider, or you are protected by a rider, or whatever it is that you are intending to do, it's already done. Once you're set, usually the action doesn't pick up until, late in the stage. Like, oh, look, here, now. We're about to get active, and it's a little over 70k. I was thinking that, 50? So actually it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit farther out than I thought, which means that run-in at the end could be closer to about 3 kilometers. That's going to be a difficult final stretch, but I guess on the flat I'm at least a 72 today. It's not too terrible. But as we're about to hit this climb, I'm going to need some teammates. Okay, Lizzie, good. Let's push this. And Yola, since you're right there, you're going to push this as well, you guys. Push a 87. Let's see how that goes, and if we can't shake this field up a little bit. There's a couple riders off the back, but nothing to it with them. Mestra? Where's Mestra?
There we go. That's 2/3 of the race behind us.
Okay, Maestra's going into the mix too, so get into the mix. Guys, you so far haven't even gone to the front, which means whoever's at the front is working that hard. It sure doesn't look like they're working that hard. No protected rider? Come on. Somebody's got to do something. Is it got to be me? Am I the one that's going to have to put in some work here? How are we supposed to damage the field if none of my riders could put a hurting on at all in the field?
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Okay, so Lisday's failed. Muella, there you go. Muella's finally doing something. And we are splitting the field a little bit.
The pack has just reeled in the escape group.
Looking for that big split, though. 96 is not the big split I was looking for. 101 is definitely not the big split I was looking for. Come on. 73, looking a little better. 9 looks great. 8 looks even better, but of course it's way too far out for a group of 8. And there's 64 that are about to catch us. And I'm just going to relax and chill now because I can't pull for 60k. I love it. You have 2 riders. Barta. Jan Barta. Come on. You could do it. You got this, right? You guys? No? Okay. Hey. Ooh, I like this now. Peloton of 33. Gate going to the front. I'm going to recover. I don't think they're going to hold it, though. But if we come back to 66, that's still not the end of the world. Kuning and Muella will be in the group that comes back to join us, and I'm sure they will. But I'll be fully recovered here, and there you go, 57. 57 is a decent number, but Kuning and Muella did not get back in with the initial group coming back, so there's still 9 riders off the back, and they're both a part of that group that's still off the pace. There we go. Okay. Now that gives me 3 teammates to work. Hopefully we can keep... Stop making contact! Gosh, I don't want everybody coming back. 72 is already a bit more than I want, but Kuning, Muella, and Gate either protecting or working at the front. They are not doing enough, though, as Peloton just keeps getting larger and larger and larger as everybody reestablishes contact here, and we're back up to 90 riders, which is the bulk of the field by far. So that next attack, which, oh gosh, look at that. Look how much of the team is here now, all but White House. I don't mind leaving the White House behind, as it is occupied by somebody who, ain't happening. Oh wait, oh gosh, it is. That's okay. We will elect Lisa Simpson next time to fix all of his problems, as they predicted. What was that, 25, 30 years ago? Nope, I'm not going there. Not talking that topic. You heard nothing as I wave my hand and speak like a Jedi. Anyway, so we've got 35k left to go in this one. And the Peloton getting larger and larger and larger because there's just no freaking pace in it. So it's back to 106. So my efforts have been completely negated here and rendered useless, making my task that much harder at the end of this stage because, well, they're not doing anything. We're coming up now, and let's slow down. It's about time. Here we go. This is also that final climb, so this is going to be a really good test on that one. 23k, and I want to be down to just me right before that final climb. So I have control of the entire team. Now what I don't have is knowledge of these riders. But it looks like Gate is decent on a hill, and it makes sense because he was the last one to stay with me. Muella, Kuning, were kind of the next closest, so we're going to kind of go in reverse order here. And we're just going to set up... Hold on. Let's Set everyone, I don't know, 95? Sure. Alright, so I'm going to follow Gate, and we're going to get you to follow Kooning, and voila. And Lizday's on a +2, Maestra's a +1, and that guy in the White House, oh, poor you, poor name to be associated. He's going to get used up first. We're going to vote him out of office. So, here we go. We have a sprint train in an unusual circumstance, but White House. Oh, please don't let that be the climb. That's already the first, that's the base of it. There's not much to it. This is 7% gradient.
Well, we can see that the pack is increasing.
Oh gosh, that is all I have to get. It does get to 10% just before the top, but it's short. It's not that punchy. But I just split the peloton just like that, 31 riders as White House runs out of energy. So that at least is good. Now we've got 19 kilometers, and I've got 5 guys to cover the distance to get me there. And just 31 now in the peloton. White House, you're going to jump back into the mix here after Lizday. Which means we can actually push harder now. 97. I think I'm going fast enough to not let these guys come back at us.
I see a rider with a flat tire. It's happened at a very bad time. 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Okay. Maestra, you're going to fall in behind White House and Lizday. We're going to push a little harder. 15K now. Okay, not doing any damage to me at all, so I'm doing just fine. And Lizday is going to drop back behind again. Go with White House. These guys are not going to last long now, the 3 of them, but they just covered half the distance for us. Okay, White House is done now. So we're just going to put him on auto. And now Maestra is going to give us what little he has left. 11K to go. Pressure's on. That group behind us has gotten bigger, but they are not catching us. We've distanced them by an additional 5 seconds or so. And while those groups have bunched together, we've got enough pace that we will keep them at bay. So this is what I was hoping for earlier. So couldn't do it over the actual climb of the day, but here we are now, looking much better off. And I've still got, surprisingly, most of my team. I mean, Maestra is now done. White House is done. They're too far gone. Lizday's only going to last that little bit longer here, but that is okay. I still have Buella, Kooning, and Gate, and I think we can just start pushing 99s. I mean, it's 10K, and I want to attack that climb. That's if I'm going to win, that's where I'm going to win. It's not going to happen on a sprint finish from this group. Now, I think Lizday could do just a fraction more, so we'll let Buella go first, and we're going to push 98. And we'll give Lizday just a momentary second chance here. You know what? No. Lizday's done. Lizday is done. Lizday is not going to recover in time for that. So we'll bring Kooning up. There we go. 8K, almost to the base. And this is where we're really going to put that hurting in on everybody else. Okay, Buella Again, you're going to try to just jump into the back of this. Kooning, 98, 7K. We're coming up on the base. There's the climb right in front of us. We got Kooning and Gate, and we're starting to lose a couple riders out the back. Alright, Kooning's going to go 99 to attack this thing. Okay. Gate's going to go 99. It's too short. There wasn't enough. But we've got this downhill section, which is going to give me that lead out. Gives me some sort of chance here. 23 riders. Gate, it's 3K. Kooning, where are you? How far back are you? Kooning, can you jump in? No, it's not. It's 2K. Go 97. Okay, 99. Coming up on 1K to go. It's 1.2. Shoot, I shouldn't have pushed him yet. I need to come out myself at a 99, but not sprint yet.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Now sprint. Come on, come on. Oh, there goes the actual sprinter, Rajovic. That'll be a top 3, though. It'll be a top 3. We just couldn't shake enough of those guys. Climb wasn't punchy enough at all. It wasn't punchy enough to do damage. Not enough damage, anyway. It didn't leave all the sprinters behind.
The riders bringing up their rear have made
It's good, though. Got on the podium. We got 3rd.
Real strength sapper. And just in case you missed them, here are the race highlights.
I think the boss isn't going to be too happy, though, which is stupid. Getting 3rd in a race that really is a sprint finish. Okay, 6 points is all we end up getting because I had a poor race finishing in 3rd. I'm still not a fan of that evaluation. I mean, getting 3rd place in a race, regardless, is a good result. I think that evaluation system needs some tweaking because that was not a hill stage as they really claim it to be. That short little 1K hill did minor damage to some riders, but for the most part, nowhere near the kind of damage it would be to actually be a hill stage. That was a sprint stage with a couple short climbs to it. But anyway, enough about that, and we move on. What we're going to have next is anyone's guess. Let's see, that was that one, so we're going to move into the next week here. We are building towards fitness peak, but we still have quite a ways before that's going to come. Fitness, of course, is very high, so we're looking good in that department. We are still without a victory in our career, but we are now 50 points, less than 50 points away from level 5. So at the worst, we'll get it at the end of the month. We have no races in this next week, so I'll go ahead and cut until we're ready to go into that next race as we continue building and trying to get something out of this rider that's just not quite there yet. This is stage 1 of the Volta Alentejo. The peloton is already shrinking. It's down to 72 riders. We're chasing 4 riders in the break, and looking at my team, you can see that the only guys left with much energy are Whippert, Gate, And, well, really, that's it. Whippert is the one guy that I don't have full control over. Whippert being the sprinter in the group, but otherwise I am the leader. And breakaway reeled in here, 42k to go, so this is going to be a long run in towards the finish. This is the type of stage that does finally suit me, unlike that last one. We can see we've got a pretty steep but short climb here to the finish. Now, the problem for me is I can't go flat out from the bottom to the top of that climb. And my mountain rating is really low. So, it's going to be a tricky prospect, and especially with my resistance. I have a -2 condition today. I'm on a 60. So even though my fitness is at 100%, my random draw on fitness level or race day condition level today was super, super low. And I got kind of the bottom of the barrel for what it should be. I mean, I should standard be about a +1. So I drew something like a -3 today, which is a bit painful. Peloton's at 93 riders, so there's still plenty of riders around here, and actually most of them have recovered, and that's going to be a really good thing for me, as my best chance for this one is to get a quick pull without using up my resistance bar up the side, and then take it the final kilometers myself. But team support was going to be really important here, and I'm finally back in a position where I have that, so this is actually good that the Peloton has come back together a bit with just over 12k to go. I'm going to wait until about 10 to form a sprint train, but a sprint train is really the best thing for a rider like myself. If I were good on mountains, I would want to set my own pace. I'd want to use my own ability to distance riders. But as a punchy hills guy, it's really important to use your team, because my pace is a 62. My pace naturally is not good enough, but my resistance bar is also not good enough. So the best thing for me is to attack off the front, but I can't do that for long periods of time. It's got to be short periods of time. So if I can get to the final kilometer, 1.5k or so, with just a handful of other riders, and my last rider kind of being exhausted by that point, I could probably win this thing. Probably. Could. Maybe. You know. We'll try. We still have not had a win yet. Let's set a 95 for the base. And now, I know Whippert and Gate are sprinters. I have their profile now, but how are they on hills? Gate, not so good. Whippert, a little bit better, 67. I still don't have anybody else, though. No idea what they're capable of, but I do know that they are a bit better, and their form is good. So I guess we're going to follow Whippert, follow Gate. They are the highest rated riders, I think, in the group anyway. Downey looks fresh compared to the other two, so we'll let him go. Then we'll take the race day condition of McGill over Mudgway. And so we'll send Mudgway out first. Mudgway is going to start with just kind of a gradual pull for now until the base, and then we're just going to accelerate hard. This is 10k from right now. Oh wait, where's my cursor? There it is. 10k, and that's now 9k, so it's only about a 4.5k climb, which is pretty dang good. Now, where the heck is everybody else? Downey, there's Gate, there's Whippert, there's McGill, last one that we're kind of waiting on here. And he's supposed to be second in line, so he's kind of wasting his own energy to get up there and get in position. There you go. Okay, now Mudgeway
Riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
exhausted himself. But we're down to 5K and... yeah, it's maybe 4.2K, give or take. There's no coming back on this one. So these guys, Mudgeway, McGeo, they'll be done once they're done. And that's perfectly okay. I mean, we're already down to just 5K. When we hit 4, I think I'll use my gel because the pace is going to slow considerably. There we go. Around the corner, there's that last little downhill, and away we go. So we're going to start attacking this thing pretty hard. This is already just 3K. There you go. McGeo, Downey, his turn now. Okay, just go 99s. No point doing any less. You're doing slight damage behind, but because you're pulling, the distance gets less and less. And we're already down to 2.3. And we've got to stay to the front. Gate looks a little bit stronger than Whippert. And they're both running down at the same time. Oh, we got to split. We got to split. Only one rider with us. Fonte. I can't see his red bar. Dang it. Or is his red bar empty? Is his red bar empty? It could be. It looks like it. Which means... off the front. Off the front. Flattens out a little bit here. Oh, come on. Sprint. Sprint. I get 30 seconds. I've got 30 seconds. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. For the first victory of our career. Can we hang on? 16, 10 seconds. No. No. Block him. Block him. Get in front. Stay in front. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, oh no! On the right side, Thiago Machado! So close. Damn it, they came back at me. We went too early. Actually, it's not so much that I went too early, it's that Gate and Whippert, they ran out of energy too quickly. They couldn't handle the intensity of the climb, which meant I just pushed a little too strong on those guys too early. Instead of going at 99, I should have stayed at about maybe a 97. But that's the big problem when you don't know the strength of your climbers. And that's something that I love. That's new to Pro Cycling Manager here in 2019, is that screening of attributes of the other riders around you. I knew Gate and Whippert weren't that strong on the climb, but outside of that, I had no idea what the other guys could give. And it looks like Gate and Whippert weren't necessarily the right guys to have right in front of me. And there was a couple others that were definitely better off. Downey, I think, for sure, probably should have been the one right in front of us and not Gate and Whippert. But I take second on the stage, so the first win remains elusive. I ran out of energy just that little bit too soon. When it flattened out, I had nothing left in my sprint at that point. It was not enough of a sprint, and I blocked off the guy behind me, but I couldn't block off everybody coming up the hill, and Machado came all the way on the advertising boards on the right side there. And Machado's a really good climber. Now, here was the thing. The team wanted me to win this stage, which I think was absolutely ridiculous because I was only just inside the top 10 favorites. And looking at the profile and looking at the race day condition I ended up with, the fact that I even got second feels like a miracle. So I'm happy with the result, and yet somehow the team's going to be really upset that I didn't win. But guaranteed, he was told to win. He was told to win. He was told to win. Those guys were all told to win, and they were all favorites above me. And we're getting there. and the leveling up will come, and a couple more levels, and we'll be there where we can start being the favorites for these. I do like that there's some time gaps. We've got the top 8 now on same time. I will pick up some time bonuses. So Machado in the lead, I'm in second, Alarcorn third, and then a little bit further back, and then it's half a minute to those guys. So I've got 30 seconds over the chase group, which itself isn't that big. Second at the points competition, I pick up 4 points at the top of the climb. I've got the lead in the under 25s, and look at that, I was the only one in the top 8 that's in the under 25s category. So I've got 30 seconds over all of those chasers. So I'll get to wear a jersey, and there you go. First distinctive jersey, 20 points. Second, poor, whatever. Boss slightly happy though that I'm the young rider. And we're going to have +6. That brings me to 22 points before our next level. We've got 4 stages still to go on this one, so plenty of action still to come. Let's move on to stage number 2. Stage number 2, we have an attack over the top for the climb among a breakaway group of 4 riders. We're only a midway point on the stage, so we are going to be speeding things up and going pretty quick from here. So let's go ×4 for the next little bit. That's break. Just those 4 guys, and they are no one that we would know by name. But back in the peloton, and from the overhead, we have the entire group, 108 riders giving chase, about 3 minutes behind. And today is the day for the sprinters. You can see that the skies have opened up and said hello to us as they drop the rain on us. There's no landslides to speak of, so that's good. No stage 19 or 20 from the Tour de France, which was incredibly exciting, by the way, but not something you want to get involved in. I mean, you'd love to see the complete stages there for 19 and 20, but what ended up happening ended up being rather exciting. So again, it kind of plays into the modern day concept that shorter and tougher is better than longer and more drawn out. You get a lot more action when it's constant, when it's consistent action versus everybody sitting and biding their time and just kind of getting through, because you've got to take care of the endurance side first. And I think the endurance side is important, but not for every stage. So I do like that idea of the shorter, steeper, heftier stages that are, on the attack from the get-go, essentially. Well, anyway, so here we are, stage number 2. It's 54K. Before the end on this one, and again, it's going to be a sprint stage, so Whipper, Gate, those are going to be the guys for that. They're both on a good race day condition for today, +3 and +2, so I will probably try to follow one of them through if I can, but I don't have any control, so I'm not sure I'll be able to do that. In that case, I'll just have to try to essentially sprint on my own. The main concern, of course, is just staying in that front group. If it does split, at this point it hasn't looked like it's split, and the 4 riders that were off the front, they're down to a minute, so they're starting to attack each other now that we've closed in on them, as is always the case, both in game and essentially in real life for the most part. Get that most combative red number.
A rider has just suffered a puncture.
As we close in on the finish here at stage number 2, I don't expect much from this one. I certainly am not going to be the winner today, but you can see we are starting to see some splits here. I better step this up and make sure I stay at the front. So where is my position, by the way? I'm up front. Okay, good. There is a little bit of punch in here. I think that's what's contributing to these splits. There's not much to it. I mean, we just had a 4-degree downhill. Before that, I think we had about a 2-degree uphill. Okay, breakaway group is caught. 14K to the end. go at ×2 speed for a little bit longer here. 11K to go. There's the 10K banner as we come around this corner here towards the finish. Little uphill here, but it's less than 3 degrees, so it's still flat. It's just slowed us down a little. Race day condition much better today. A nice even balanced 0. But in this case, a 0 with a high level of fitness at 100% ends up with a lot of +1s. Okay, 4.7. I'll go ahead and use my gel, have it ready for the finish. What I have is 2 lead-out guys, I guess. Keogh and Mudgeway. I don't know anything about either of them, but let's go ahead and set up my own little mini sprint train. Keogh in better shape, so we'll save him for the end regardless of whatever his speed is. Mudgeway 3.9K, so we'll send you out at a 97. Keogh almost there. Almost in his position. 2.4K. There was a little uphill. And now Mudgeway. Keogh. Keogh just now finally overtaking me. Keogh, you're going to just sprint from here. Wow, we're in really good position at the moment. There are riders over here on the other side that are pure sprinters and ready to go. But I do have good acceleration, I just don't have good top speed. So we'll sprint 700 meters. I'll get up to my top... I should theoretically have a good takeoff here. But then in the final few hundred meters, you'll see all those sprinters actually come. So there's the acceleration. And yeah, no top end speed, but this could be close to a top 5 actually. Gessner, yeah, 6th place. That's not bad. I'm ahead of Bonifazio. I'm ahead of my sprinters. Gate, they're in 12th. Whippert in 17th. For some reason though, the boss did not assign them as sprinters for the day. One sprinter and one sprint train. They could have been really effective. Whippert and Gate are 2 of the best sprinters in the field. And by the way, they're still the only 2 riders that I know anything about at this point.
Here are the key moments of the race.
Alright, well anyway, that is 2 stages in the book. We're going to take a very quick look at the profile of the other 3 stages. Those are going to take place in the next episode. First, Young Riders +2, now 20 points away. We're still a little over a week until we hit the new month. So this race should get the 20 points that we need. And let's go calendar. That is April. I want March. Wait, where are you hiding? There it is. Okay, profile. Final 3 stages look like this, that, and this. All flat. This one, a little bit punchy. Could do something. But for the most part, stage 1 was going to determine this race. Stage 4 and 5 won't be standard sprints, but it was definitely mostly down to stage 1. So we're in pretty good shape for the overall that we could potentially stay in 2nd place. So that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing at all. Still early, of course, but look at that. 18th. 111 continental points. Of course, we'll be well down the order here. 114th with 93. Hey, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.